Okay, I'm using a different colour actually. I'm starting with turquoise. The yarn is Yarn and Colours Must Have, and it's turquoise just because it's a little bit easier for you to see than the darker one. Right, so I've made a few chains here. It's not as wide as the piece in your actual project if you're following the video to accompany the October 2018 box, but it's okay. It'll give us an idea of how to do the technique, and you really only need to see a couple of squares, you'll be flying. Right, to start off with making that triangle, we're just going to start in a fairly familiar way by doing a double crochet into the second chain from the hook. Okay, so second chain, hook goes in, pull up a loop, oops, yarn through the 2 loops on the hook. Nothing too scary about that. We're now going to start those uprights. Do you remember I showed you earlier those uprights? This is where they come in. We will be working into this part of the stitch. Whilst it's a double crochet, it's just the left side of the V, but it's not always going to be a double crochet. You'll see what I mean as I go along, but for now we're just going to keep that 1 loop on the hook, put our hook through that upright and pull up another loop, I say hoop don't I, 2 loops on the hook. We're going to bring in the next chain into play, so put your hook through the next chain along and pull up a 3rd loop. That's going to do us for now. So yarn over the hook, pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Right, as we go along, we're going to increase the number of loops on the hook. So we had 3 there, didn't we, in total? Let's go again and see where we go with this. So to sort of slightly tilt the work onto the side, we're going to put our hook through this loop here. Now I want to show you that again, because if you look, we've got the kind of the top part, if you like, of the stitch. It's not going to go in that one. It's not going to go in the next one down, which is where the yarn is actually disappearing into. It's going to go to the next one along. All right, so it's into that upright. Yarn over and pull through 1. There's our 2 loops on the hook. Let's try and get rid of the yarn out of the shot, sorry. Now we're going to go through a different place. Yet again, it's the it's the left leg of the V. Can you see? There's the V, and we're going to go through the left leg of it. So let me go back again. Go through the left leg of the V, pick up our yarn, pull up 3 loops on the hook. This is good. This is where we got to last time, 3 loops on the hook. We're now going to go and pick up another chain, pull up a loop, and here we are with 4 loops on the hook. That'll do. Let's go over, yarn over and pull through 2 one time, yarn over and pull through 2 times, yarn over and pull through 2 3 times. Let's have a look and see what we've got to. Now we've already got a nice small triangle, so you can see we aren't working along in a straight flat row as we normally would. We're working along and up, so we're forming a triangle, which is just what we need to be doing. So let's keep going. So if you recall, we got up to 4 loops on the hook last time. Let's go again. So just to be clear, we're missing out this first upright. We're missing out the upright where the yarn is disappearing into, and we're going in the next one. So in it goes, yarn over and pull up. Then we're going into the next upright along. Can you see? It starts to become quite obvious, and it will become even more obvious as you go along. So it's the next most upright stitch, in it goes. 3 loops on the hook. The last bit before we pick up a chain is the left V, the left leg of the V, remember? So in we go into the left leg of the V, pick up the yarn, 4 loops on the hook. We've got 1 more to do, and that last one is always going to be the chain. So in we go, 5 loops on the hook. Always, always for this particular stitch, always yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. So for this particular pattern, we are going to repeat this process till we get to the point where we've got 7 loops on the hook. So let's do this again. So it's hook through the upright, pull up a hoop, hook through the next upright. You can see they're starting to become quite obvious, aren't they? Because they're sort of forming a nice little dashed line. Pull up a loop, the next one, and pull up a loop. And the last one before we hit the chain is the left leg of the V. Pull up a loop, 2, 4, 5, and the chain is going to make it 6. So we've got 6 loops on the hook. Let's whiz through, do the yarn over and through 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 times. Okay, now this is the last step that as in the same way that we've been working. So let's get this done and see where we go next. Hook through your first upright, and we're going to just work in the uprights all the way along. So that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, and I'll just show you this now. You really can see those lines going up there, so it becomes nice and obvious. So we've got 4 uprights, we've got the left leg of the V for the last part, that's 6 loops, and then we've got working into the next chain along for the last bit. 7 loops, so this is the final step for this particular travelling loops. Sounds like a folk band, doesn't it? There we go. Go through, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over through 2, yarn over through, oh, yes, yarn over through 2, all the way along. Right, so we don't want to go any further with that particular triangle. What we need to do now is be able to somehow get down here to start another one. So how we're going to do that is our friend the slip stitch, but it's made just completely the same as a normal slip stitch. It's just yet again we are having to use these uprights, because if you look along the top we don't really have our familiar sort of chain along the top to be able to work into, so we work into those uprights. And I'm going to work 6 slip stitches. So here we go. That's 1. So hook through the upright, pick up the yarn, goes through the upright, goes through the stitch on the loop on the hook. That's 2. Hook through the upright, pick up the yarn, yarn goes through upright and stitch on the hook. That's 3. Through upright, yarn through upright, yarn through loop on hook. That's 4. Next one along, whoops, that's 5, and we're going to make 6 slip stitches. So we've gone through all the uprights. The last slip stitch, we're going to ignore that V. We've been working into that V, but this time we're going to ignore that. We're going to come straight along to the next chain, put our hook in there, and make our last slip stitch. So if you look, we've made a curly but perfect triangle.